now and then you get a chance to chop it up with a guy with a world kick-ass beard named Marty. How you doing, Marty?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good. So where'd you get that beard? Did you go down to
Where did I get it?
yeah,
From Jesus.
there you
Jesus gave it to me.
I think he gave it to you a little bit at a time. That looks like about 10 years worth of beard.
Probably 12.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
12 years.
Where are you at these days?
I'm in Nashville.
How's Nashville?
Nashville is growing too fast.
I've been hearing that. Like a friend of mine, she moved down there, she just had a baby, and her and her husband love it down there. They literally love it. She lived here in Vegas for a while.
I loved it when I moved here 7 years ago. I was born in Memphis, raised in Arkansas, and moved here 7 years ago on the outskirts of Nashville and loved it. But now I'm ready to leave again because it just became, it's becoming a boom town. It's becoming a new LA or something. So I don't like that.
I hear the barbecue there is amazing.
The, the barbecue in Memphis is amazing
Oh, okay.
if you're
How
looking
about
for barbecue.
that's Memphis, Tennessee. Nashville's in Tennessee also, right?
Yep.
I grew
Nashville's
up-
kind of known for uh, hot chicken.
You know what? That's the craziest thing. Like right now here in Vegas, there's so many places opening up that are hot chicken. Now, I don't like spicy food, but I'm not kidding you. People love that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not big into spicy food either, so that's why I'm in the wrong part of the world, I guess.
I think hot chicken is just making a run right now. If you
Yeah,
got,
well it kind of started here, I think. At least that's the theory.
I
So,
had to start somewhere. I'm a
right.
I'm a Raising Cane's kind of guy. Give me some good chicken fingers. I'm good to go.
What about Slim Chickens? Y'all got a Slim Chickens there?
No, what's Slim Chickens?
It's another franchise. It's a like Raising Cane's, but with more options. They have mac and cheese and mashed potatoes and stuff like that. That's what I don't like about Raising Cane's is you all you can get is fries. That's it. It's
Yeah,
like fries and slaw.
fries, slaw, chicken fingers. That's it.
Yeah. And I think they give you a slice of bread or something. I don't know.
I
I
think they
don't
have
remember.
bread too, or toast, like garlic toast.
Yeah. I'm not a Raising Cane's man. I definitely much rather have Slim Chickens. But if you don't have it, then it makes sense why you wouldn't even know what it was.
Yeah, I don't know Slim Chickens. I like good barbecue. Like I go down to Dallas every now and then. Texas has good barbecue.
Texas has amazing brisket.
Yes, they do. It's actually it's not just good barbecue, but they actually do really well with the brisket.
That's what they're known for. Texas, the best briskets in Texas, the best porks in Memphis, the best sauces in Kansas City. Um, you got some mustard sauces in the Carolinas, different type of white sauces over there. There's just Alabama has, I believe it's like burnt ends came from Alabama. So each section they all have their own specialty, and then within that they all try to make each other's, and they do pretty well at it. Sometimes they don't.
It's
So
funny. I went to Austin recently, and there was this barbecue joint place there that did vinegar. It's like a very watery type barbecue sauce. I'll be honest with you, that does not play well.
that's a Memphis barbecue style sauce for sure, of more vinegar. But I'm from Memphis and I love Memphis barbecue as far as the way it's prepared. But I've always loved Kansas City style sauce better,
That's
thick
yeah.
and sweet. I've always loved that better. So that originated in Kansas City, and I've always been that kind of guy.
No, I'm right there with you. I like a good, I make barbecue sauce for myself, and I'll find like a barbecue sauce that I like, and I'll add blueberry jam, not jelly, but jam. And I'm not kidding you. There's something about adding blueberry jam to the barbecue sauce that makes it like just stick to the meat.
Interesting. Blueberry jam to the barbecue sauce.
Yeah, sometimes I use apricot jam to mix it up a little bit, but when you it's got to be jam. It can't be jelly. If it's jam and you cook it in the pot and you over the stove, and then you brush it on your meat, I don't know what it is, but it just cooks right on there. It's like the sugar or the jam itself just like it becomes like an adhesive glue.
Yeah, it probably caramelizes on there.
Caramelizes. Yep, that's exactly
Yeah.
what it does.
What kind of sauce are you talking about making? What do you make your sauce with?
I use whatever base that I can find or that I like. I'll be honest with you. Have you tried Kinder's lately? Kinder's, Kinders.
I haven't.
So they have this Japanese barbecue sauce. It's kind of like watery. It's very like almost like teriyaki. But if you put that stuff with blueberry jam, it makes it less watery. It makes it very thick, and that's a good mix. Like imagine teriyaki and blueberry jam.
Sounds like a winner to me. Yeah, you ain't gonna go wrong getting it sweeter and sweeter.
So talk a little bit about real estate. You're involved in real estate out there, correct?
I am now to a degree. I'm not really like I'm a musician, singer, songwriter first and foremost, and I just recently got my real estate license because during the slow times of music, to be able to be send referrals out to my fans and such. So yeah, that's really the main thing I'm doing is just sending referrals out. But the market in Nashville, it was booming, and then it wasn't, and now it was. There was a report that came out that said it was the slowest market in the country right now.
Well,
So
everything's slow right now because interest rates. They just lowered rates, by the way, 1/4%.
yeah, 1/4%. Yeah, that's going to change things.
Not really, but I think Jerome Powell and the Fed Reserve are just playing games.
Yeah, 1/4% is not going to move the needle too much.
No, I thought for sure they were going to do at least 0.5%.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, it seems like people are still buying, people are still selling. So
Well, people are definitely selling here in Vegas. There's like 1,500 homes for sale, and it's slowed down to a crawl.
yeah, it's definitely a buyer's market for
Yeah.
sure. They can have the pick of the litter, and that's what I tell people sometimes. I say, hey man, when the interest rates inevitably lower, you won't be able to, especially in Nashville, you won't be able to just have the pick of the litter, and it won't be a market for you. It'll be a market for them now. That's what it was before. That's what it'll be again at some point. It goes like that, ebbs and flows. That's how it works. So if the people that are actually smart buyers, they they would buy now and they would pick whatever house they want, negotiate how they want. They can negotiate the price, the actual price of they won't be able to negotiate the loan. They're going to pay a higher interest rate. But the beauty of that is you negotiate the price of the home, you get a lower price of it than you would in a boomtown market that's a seller's market. And then you might pay more even per month because of the interest rate. But as soon as the interest rates drop, you just refinance.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you know Pace Morby, but he's got a way where you can literally buy property subject to, and you can acquire the old mortgage if it's a decent rate. I know people doing that all day long.
Yeah, you can. That's called an assumption loan, like you can, or something like that. But yeah, you can do that. But there's a lot that goes into that has to line up for you to be able to do that. Um, but yeah, that works good. If you my loan on my house is 2 point, I don't know, 2.5%, which may never be there again. I
Yeah.
don't know, you know. So it really keeps me from wanting to sell, even though my property value has almost doubled, really, with the house I bought 7 years ago. So it's almost doubled. And but if I sell it, I got to have cash or I got to get a loan. And if I get a loan, I'm going to be paying double the interest rate that I was paying,
Oh,
even when it gets
easily.
down to a good interest rate.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they do in this. It seems like in the government, it's like gas prices. We we used to have gas prices at $1.50, and we were like, this is great. They jack it all the way up to 350 to 4, and we go, this is way too high. Something's got to break. And then they correct it down to 3, $2.80 or 3, and then we're all happy. We're like, hey, the gas prices came down. But in reality, they still went up because we were just at $1.50. It's kind of what it seems like what they do with the interest rates. The interest rates were at 2.5. They went all the way up to 7. So if they correct down to 4, we're happy. 4, 3.84. We're like, hey, this is great. But in reality, they still went up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. It is what it is. Real estate, as of right now, I haven't been doing a whole lot of real estate. Like I said, I just really got into it to send referrals to my fans that are really all over the world, but all over the country mainly. And when I send them if they let me help them in any facet, wherever they're at, when the deal's done, I find out what their favorite song is and I sing a song for them as
Oh,
a,
that's
as a
awesome.
gift. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the main thing. I haven't been doing real estate that long. I think a year. I've been doing it a year.
That's awesome. Talk a little bit about what it's like to be a singer.
What it's like to be a singer? Well, if you're talking about professionally, it is it's a blessing. I think the people that sing from the heart are the people that were born. I ain't gonna say the only people that were born with it, but I never learned to sing. I just was always able to do it. Jesus just inherently put it in me, I guess. I don't know because I never really learned. Probably still don't do it right. But whatever I do, it seems to move some people and they like it. So what is it like to do that? It's very special to if you get to the place to where God blesses your talent and you put forth a little effort and he puts forth a lot and you get seen by people and heard by people and they tell you that it moved them and it sometimes they say it saved their life or this or that or they felt this or this. Those things are the most special, some of the most special things you can hear in this world. But as far as the profession of it, it's it's a blessing as long as the work is there, as long as the reach is there, but it's kind of a curse in the sense of there's nothing guaranteed ever. It's kind of like, I guess, kind of like anything in sales. Nothing's guaranteed. But it's even harder when it comes, it seems like to me, when it comes to being an artist, because with sales, you can just go out there, bust your butt, and you'll probably, you get the 100 no's, you get the yes, that type of thing. It don't really work that way in music. You can't just go out there and knock on doors and say, "Let me play a show for you." You know, you all you can do is just keep posting videos. That's the beauty of the algorithm of the social media today. But it's also the curse of it, where an independent artist, the greatest enemy and friend of an independent artist is a corporate algorithm because it helps us, and it's the only reason we're able to have a career. But it's also the the biggest hindrance to us getting seen sometimes. So that's kind of what it's like if you're an independent artist, musician. It's a blessing that you're able to even get seen and that you get to do what you love as long as the work and the support just keeps coming. As long as you have the reach, it's amazing. But when they're during times of struggle, it seems very hard. It's very taxing on your mental state, and you want to quit, you want to give up. And if I didn't, to be honest, if I didn't feel like and know that Jesus put me here to do this, then I would have quit a long time ago, and I would have just completely did something else. So that's a long answer to your question.
That's a great answer. I think, yeah. How do you keep your mind right when you come across challenges of, slow times or any other challenges as a musician? How do you keep your mind right?
Prayer. I pray every day. Uh, without prayer, I'm wrecked. I'm done. My
Hey,
mind would be destroyed without it.
I'm going to show you something, Marty.
The Lord is my shepherd. Psalms 23.
There you go.
Yeah.
My buddy makes this shirt, and I got to tell you, it's one of my favorite shirts. It's
Is it
basically
the is
Psalms
it the
23 all over your shirt.
I like that. That's cool. Yeah, it has the whole Psalms 23 on it.
I don't know if it has the whole of it, but it's got most of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like here, here it's got I can't read it. It's on an angle, but yeah, it's one of my favorite shirts. Like if you look at it all over, it's got Psalms 23 all over it. Oh, what do you
I
got
see
there?
it. Can you read that?
It says put on I can't read the rest. Armor
The
of
whole
God.
armor of God.
Oh, the whole armor of God. Okay.
And then it has all the pieces of the armor, the 6 pieces of the armor of God.
Is that rubber or is that metal?
No, that's the silicone band.
It looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, I wear that every day. Just I pray that every day. I pray that the armor of God is over my family and me. So, that's how my mind stays right. Without going to the throne room of Jesus, I'm destroyed. I'm done. And that's just the truth. Matter of fact, before when you called me, I was praying to be transparent.
That explains why you were late. You were like, Lord, please have Chris come into my life.
Yeah. I was like, I was like, Lord, don't let any distractions distract
Exactly.
me. And then you called.
And you're like, wait a second, what do you mean we got a podcast?
Yeah, no, that is my fault, and I do apologize about that.
No,
I
no,
put
don't
it in my
worry.
calendar.
Listen, if you can't laugh a little bit in life, I my grandmother raised me, and one of the things she said every day, make sure you laugh a little bit, make sure you cry a little bit, and make sure you scratch your head a little bit. And if you've done those three things, you've lived a full day.
I think I do that every day. I really think I do.
Well, I definitely have the scratching of the head thing down pat. I've been
You definitely
scratching this
do.
bad boy for a while.
I can tell. It's been it's been thoroughly scratched. Yeah,
You
mine
know,
too, though.
there.
See,
Oh, look at you! Look at you. We're both going
we're
to the same. Well, we both might be going to the same barber, but I'm pretty sure you got no razor blades at the house.
yeah, yeah. We are great ponderers. Clearly,
Yeah.
we scratch our heads a lot.
So a guy recently died, was assassinated, who was a strong man of faith. His name is Charlie Kirk. Now, since that assassination, I've had a new perspective on my faith. I'm not going to tell you what my perspective is yet. I wanted to hear what your thoughts are. Did it affect you? Did it change you? Did it make you ponder a little bit? What did Charlie Kirk's assassination mean to you?
I followed Charlie Kirk's journey from before he had any crowd. I was he just had a little table and it was just him and maybe a couple other people, and there was no crowds, there was nothing. He was just at the college campuses, and whoever would come by, they would come by randomly and sporadically, but it was not big crowds. And so he him and there was a guy before him that I believe that he was inspired by, named Steven Crowder. And I followed Steven Crowder for a long time as well. And Steven Crowder did that exact thing before Charlie Kirk did. And I watched both of them, and they both of them inspired me. But Charlie Kirk inspired me even more because he was more Christ centered, meaning he talked about everything that he talked about. It had biblical backing. I'm not saying Steven Crowder's didn't, but he didn't talk about the Lord very much at all. Um, Not that he was a bad person. I'm just saying that didn't come up. He was talking about other things. So seeing Charlie Kirk rise and praying for him for years, I've prayed for Charlie Kirk, and seeing that happen really broke my heart big time. I've never wept, I've never wept over that many people that were in the limelight quite like I have over. It's still heavy on me today. Did it change me spiritually? No, because I was already. I'm not trying to brag. This sounds very prideful, but my mind is already. My family and I, we are all we're our minds are set on heaven. We know this ain't our home, and we are constantly, trying to make sure that we are the light that Jesus has called us to be. But Charlie Kirk inspired me and my family, inspires many millions of people to stand up for righteousness, even in the face of death, right? And he lived exactly what he said. He gave his life for it. But what it did do, it does make you sit back and go, in America, I guess we're coming to a time. We always say, "Hey, I'm living for this. I'm a living sacrifice, Lord. I am. I'm. My life is yours." We say things like that in prayer. At least my family and I do. And but now it's like we're coming to a time to where now it's time. Okay, prove it. You're gonna have to prove it now. And Charlie Kirk proved it. He lived and died for the faith, and he'll be remembered as such. And we can all only hope and pray that we're the same way. And I think that's what it's sparked in people. God has put an inherent desire in human beings to crave a relationship with him. That's just inherently there. And that's what happens with all the lost people. With all the people that are lost and they don't seek him, they're fatherless. And that's why they're so angry. They don't have a father. And I'm not talking about an earthly father. I'm talking about an everlasting father. And so I think that's why the devil and the devils they wanted to take Charlie Kirk out. They wanted to kill him at all cost. But the foolishness of it is that the foolishness of it, as I'm talking to you, I get a text that says Charlie Kirk lived a full life. That text just came across. Anyway, um, the foolishness of it is that they they thought they killed a movement, but they just emboldened the movement is what's happened here. They've enhanced it because now people I'm getting texts and calls from atheist friends of mine that are no longer atheists. They're going to church now. They're asking me about this and that. So what did Charlie Kirk's passing do to me? It inspired me, to be honest. It made me first, I had to reconcile in my head how I cannot hate, because that's the first thing I had was anger, rage, and then I felt hatred trying to come in. And I said, well, it's time we fight this fight with the flesh. It's time to do it. And the Bible's very clear. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and rulers of darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. So we have to keep that in mind. And then Jesus said, and this kept coming to me as I was praying, Lord, put a guard over my heart that I don't hate these people, even as evil, no matter how evil they are, that I understand that these people are human beings and you gave your life for them too. Even if they kill us, you gave your life for them because they killed you. This same spirit killed you. And so I remember the scripture kept coming to me, reminding me that the devil don't care if you're a righteous person as long as he can get you to hate. He don't care if you lived your whole life good. If he can get you to hate along with the ones that have been hating, he still wins. And I remember where Jesus said, because iniquity will abound in the end, the love of many will wax cold. And I thought for years I was always thinking that's talking about sinners. But that's not just talking about sinners. That's talking about the love of the righteous waxing cold because of iniquity. So I said, Lord, I have to, my family and I, our love will not wax cold. We must have unfailing love, that our love covers multitudes of sin. And that's what I've been praying ever since the death of Charlie Kirk. So what happened? There were stages, really. Hate, there was anger, there was hatred and bitterness trying to set in. That got remedied. That got destroyed, and now there's just this inspiration to love even more and to go out and to to just be. If we all have to be martyrs, then that's what we have to be. That's just that's where I've come to in my head.
Yeah, I'm on a different angle of that, and I get it, and I get the whole turn the other cheek, but I've turned my other cheek. That was, I think Charlie was the line in the sand for me, and I came to the reality. I'm just going to call people out for what they are, whether they let Satan into their life on their own, or whether Satan snuck into their life. At the end of the day, people that are demons, they're just demons. They can't not walk around me anymore, and not for me not to call them out. And at the end of the day, we have to understand, if you believe in God, you got to understand there is a Satan. If you believe that there is a God, you have to understand that there is a Satan. And there is a war for the faith of mankind, for the souls of mankind. And some people, they're accepting Satan. They're accepting his wishes into their life. And sad to say, it's a large audience. I mean, when Charlie was assassinated, it was horrible to watch human beings become so demon-like publicly. I saw teachers dancing in their classroom, trying to literally get into the minds of the young people that are in their room and literally celebrating the assassination of another human being. That's as close to Satan as you're going to get.
Yeah, but the problem is that people are now saying that what you said. They're saying these people are demons. Well, that's an oxymoron. Demons possess people. They don't. They're not people though. That's why Paul said what I just said. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. The fight is not against those people, and I get it. I get it too. But as far as letting people walk around and live a sinful life, I've never been that guy anyway. I've always been the guy to call out to call. I've always been probably maybe a little too bold at times. So I've always had to pray, Lord, let me be bold but not abrasive. Let me be wise but not arrogant, and let me be kind but not a pushover. I've been praying that for a long time because I deal with wanting to tell everybody, hey, there was a time when I would say, hey, you're headed to hell, right? You're headed for hell. I would tell people that. And that's not the way that that's not the way that he captivated everybody right off the bat. He did let people know, and he did talk about hell. He did let people know there was a hell. But he also knew that it's like this. If Jesus said at any point I could call 12 legions of angels and all this is over. And no longer do you get to mock me. It was the Gentiles that mocked him, that put the crown of thorns on him, that bowed down and acted like, and just was blasphemously mocking him. And they're the ones that was the Jews that it was the Jews that casted the sentence, that demanded the sentence be served, and the Gentiles carried it out. So there's no hands that don't have blood on them anywhere. So the point is that he didn't. He could have ended it all. Now that you talk about very demonic activity. Demonic activity is seeing a perfect man, literally. Charlie Kirk wasn't perfect. Jesus Christ was perfect. And seeing a perfect man, God manifest in the flesh. God came off his throne, manifested himself in the flesh, walked among us, gave his life for us, allowed human beings, his creation, to mock, ridicule, spit on, slap, all the things, the worst you can think of. And he said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That was demonic activity then. We're now in America starting to deal with demonic activity, which I know I've been dealing with it around me for a long time. But what you're saying, yeah, I can't even believe that there's people that have gone to the extent of celebrating and dancing the death. But the beauty of that is, if there can be beauty in it, is that is actually pulling the veil off of the evil of the left. And so a lot of the left are saying we can't we can't side with that. Now that's just too far. And so now they're actually exiting the left. They're exiting the liberals. And so I think what's happening, to be honest, is God has lifted a veil of the demonic evil that has become the left, the far left. And so I think that it's going to crush in the end, it's going to crush them entirely. And are you still there?
Yeah, no, I'm just listening.
Yeah, but I got a phone call. I was just trying to make sure.
Oh,
You said it, didn't you?
huh?
You said it would happen, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, my point is I get the anger, and I am a guy, I grew up I grew up fighting a lot, physically fighting. And so that old, and my name, Marty, my name means warlike. That's what my name means. So I have to constantly tell myself that I'm not, I got to be like Jesus here. I'm not called to go beat people up and shoot people and such. So that's a problem. It's hard for me. But to be like Jesus, it's not an easy teaching. It's
It
not
ain't
an easy
easy.
teaching, but I do believe that if Charlie Kirk could come back with a message, that his message would be, and this is hard too, his message would be that he would forgive that person that killed him. That's what I believe.
You know, I couldn't agree with you more, but for me personally, I also know that God needs different people. He needs different people to be part of his faith. And I just feel that I have to be the voice that says no more. That's it. No more. I'm gonna not let the insanity of Satan walk around and preach their bullshit anymore. If a guy wants to wear a dress, let him wear a dress. If he wants to wear the dress and go inside the ladies' room, I'm going to say no more. We're not doing that crazy shit anymore. I am not letting that shit pass by anymore.
You misunderstanding me. I'm never saying that we are to allow within our ability. I've never been one that when if I see a man going into a woman's, especially with my daughters, I got two daughters, so I'm not going to let them do that either. That's always been the case with me. So I'm saying it depends on what you mean by. If you mean I'm going to take up arms and I'm going to start mowing people down if they get out of line or whatever, that, that definitely can't happen. Like that's not that defeats the entire message, even of Charlie Kirk, but especially of Jesus. Charlie Kirk's idea, his whole idea, was to create conversation so the violence didn't ensue. So if we then start becoming violent, then he lost. His whole thing is a wash. That's the point. They won. The devil still wins. And Charlie Kirk's message, which was a message from Jesus, loses. That's all I'm saying. If we get violent. Now, am I saying that we can't stand up for righteousness? I'm not saying that. I've always been the guy who I'm going to stand up against LGBT indoctrinations, against drag queens reading books in kindergartens. I'm not going to stand for that either. But it just depends on what you mean by not standing.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I used to turn my head the other way and let a lot of shit slide because I just didn't want to have any drama in my life. And that was me
Mm,
basically kind of turning my head and just letting the devil have his play with people. But
mm.
that's just not happening anymore. I'm not going to let that happen anymore. I'm going to speak loudly and call people out for the demons they are if they're going to literally preach the word of Satan. If somebody's going to tell a little kid, "Hey, you know, if you're not sure if you're a little boy or a little girl, maybe we can get you on puberty blockers and we won't have to tell your parents." I'm not going to let that happen anymore. I'm not going to let the insanity spill itself around others where it could ultimately seep into their brain and make them a little more cuckoo or crazy or bring them closer to Satan. I'm going to bring people closer to God, closer to having faith, not getting involved with all the craziness.
100%. Yeah, that's always, but like I said, with me, that I've always been that guy.
Yeah, like I
So
said,
as far,
maybe it was a wake up call for me to say, hey, I got to put my faith out there more. Like I thought I was, but I'm like, okay, now I got to actually really put it out there.
I think that's what it has really done, and it's beautiful to watch. People saying exactly what you said. I'm going to actually speak up now. I'm going to speak up for Jesus. I'm going to stand up for Jesus. That's kind of the war cry in this nation and even around the world. There's people that are marching in the streets of countries all over the world now saying Christ is King, and it's special to watch. It's an end time revival. We're at the precipice of an end time revival, and the Lord's return is soon.
Yeah,
That's the case.
I couldn't agree with you more. Let's talk about something else. A lot of people have a fear of chasing their dreams, and you've literally chased your dreams. You've become a singer, you've become an artist. Talk a little bit about how you overcome fear in life.
It's going to sound rhetorical, or it's going to sound not rhetorical. It's going to sound cliche and repetitive. But I tell people all the time that I'm a coward at heart, but with Jesus, I'm a man of valor, like Gideon. Gideon in the Bible was a coward, and God shows up and says, "Hey, great man of valor." And Gideon says, "Not me." He's hiding behind a wine press because he's terrified, trying to get something to eat.
Hey,
And God says, "You're going to deliver Israel from these false gods and the ones that are serving Baal and such." And he goes and does it, and it's a powerful story. But that's kind of like my story. I wasn't I didn't come from a family that was supportive in the way of, hey, you if you have a dream, follow that dream. You have a gift, go after that. You can make it doing that. I came from a family, nothing wrong with it, but my dad worked with his hands. My mom, same. And that's how they thought that was the way that you're going to make it in this world is working with your hands. So anything other than that, it just unless you were just an academia superstar, you weren't going to make it anyway. But working with your hands, and I was not an academia superstar. So the only thing I've really ever been good at was singing my whole life. And so, how did I overcome the fear? I just, I did a podcast way before podcasts were even really a popular, even known thing. I was podcasting in like 2007, and now that podcast is long been gone. But in 2007, I ended up somehow getting Darius Rucker on my podcast back then. And I remember I would try to get people on my podcast, and I would tell them, "Hey, be a guest on my podcast," and they wouldn't they wouldn't know what it was and didn't care much about it. So then I made the name Mem Nash Radio. So that when I would get people, when I would ask for them to be guests on my show, they would think it was a radio station. And so that's how I got Darius Rucker on. He thought it was a radio station. And so, but one of the things he said in there inspired me. And I believe it was from the Lord, at that time, because I wasn't doing music. But I said, what advice would you give to any young artist or any type of artist that would want to get to where you are? And he said, just play. He said, just if somebody asks you to play, go play. If somebody asks you to write, go write. Just do it. You never know what could come from it. So, and I said, that's a good idea, actually. Just go after it. Almost like Nike, just do it. And so I started kind of doing that. If somebody asked me to play, I said, you know what? I feel like I want to do a song. I'm going to do this. So I'm going to record it. I'm not the best guitar player back then. I was still learning back then how to play guitar. I'm still not the best. But I said, I feel this. I want to record this. I'm just going to start releasing videos. And no matter what people say, whatever they say, I don't care. I'm just going to keep doing it. And so I kept doing that. And I put forth a little effort, and God put forth a lot. He honored my effort, and he still does to this day. I'm still earning money through music, albeit not as much as I was, but I believe that's going to change again. I just believe that God takes us. I tell people, I say, I was on a mountaintop and all I knew was success up there with my music. And, your faith can dwindle on a mountaintop because everything's just there. You don't have to believe much because just happens. And so God sometimes has to pull you down into a valley to build your faith. And so I think that's what happened to me. I've been in a valley in several different areas, but especially in my music career, and it has grown my faith, and it has redirected my trust that I had misplaced, and it put it back in the Lord. So that's where I'm at now. But as far as getting over your fear, I would say the same thing Darius Rucker did: pray and go after it. Just do it, and don't stop caring
Wait a
about
second. Are
what.
you talking about Darius Rucker or are you quoting Bo Jackson? Maybe you interviewed Bo Jackson also. Just do it.
Yeah, no. Well, is that who said just do it? Is that where Nike got it from?
That was Bo Jackson. Just do it.
Yeah, no. Darius Rucker didn't say that. I just said it's like that. Darius Rucker said just play. He said just go after it and play, meaning just do whatever someone says in music. If they say go play a show, then go play it, even if it don't pay enough. Just do it. And that's then I said it's kind of like Nike. Just do it. I didn't know that Bo Jackson was the one that said that. That's pretty cool.
Or actually, I think Bo Jackson had a Nike thing that he said Bo knows. I think that was his thing. Bo knows.
I remember that. Yeah, Bo knows for sure.
That is true. All right. So I like to leave every podcast interview with something inspirational. There's somebody watching this right now. If you could just literally tell them something that today, just today, gets them off their ass and has them chase their dreams, what would you tell
I would say Bo knows.
them?
No, I would say that if God puts something in you, if you've been given a talent, then it is not wise for you to bury it. The wisest thing you could do is to go after that talent prayerfully, though, because there's many people that go after talents that God gave them, and they end up using that talent for the opposite side. They use that talent for the devil, and because they want the promise of fame and fortune. If you go after it for that reason, then you've already started wrong. But if you go after your talent and you say, God gave me this talent, I'm not going to bury it, I'm going to multiply it, which is a parable that Jesus speaks of. I'm going to multiply this, but it's always going to be for the glory of God. And if it ever becomes not for the glory of God, then strip me of it. If you go after it with that mentality and you put forth the effort, even the smallest bit, I'm a testament, the smallest bit of effort, God will honor that effort, and He will prosper you. So I say, if you have a talent, don't bury it. And I know this for a fact that we all have a talent to do something. Nobody was put here without a talent of some kind. So get after it. Speak up like we've been talking about. If if you don't know Jesus, you should, and you better, because the time is nigh. And if you know him and you got people around you that don't, then pray every day that he would open a door of utterance that you could speak the mysteries of Christ. That's what you should pray every day. That you live your life with an expectation to see an assignment all around you, because they're all around you. Live on assignment and live as if you were sent everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, say, I know God sent me here for some reason. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, God does have a plan for your life, and too many people forget that greatness was always your destiny. It was always your destiny.
Right.
You were made to be great. God whispered in your ear that greatness is your destiny, my child.
Yeah, it says he created us in his image. Is he great?
He's pretty awesome. He's right up there. He's like,
That's right.
I think he's the greatest of all time. I think he's the GOAT.
100%. He's definitely the greatest of all time. No question about it.
Well, listen, we've had a great talk, Marty, and we got to do this again sometime soon. I really appreciate your time. I think your story is great. I think your message is great. I think at the end of the day, hopefully this podcast gets into one person's ear and helps them get closer to their faith.
I pray that definitely happens. If it's just one, let's celebrate with heaven.
That's it. Sometimes people say, "Hey, I want to change the world." Hey, just try and change one person. Just try and find one.
Yeah, the world around you, you should be trying to change.
Now, the only thing you can really change in life is you. Like you control your life, your actions, your words. So those are the things you can control.
Right? Yeah.
All right. Do
Is
you
your
call me?
last name, real quick, is your last name really Champion?
No, just a pseudonym. Real name is
Oh,
Swice.
okay. I
Yeah,
was about to
just
say,
yeah. When you're on social media, don't give out all your real information, your last name, your date of birth. People have a funny way of trying to hack into your life. That's yeah. I tell people all the time, don't use your. I mean, you think Kanye West's name is Kanye West?
so you're saying I shouldn't have put my social security number on there?
No, really bad idea. Horrible idea.
Oh, shoot.
Marty,
Mm.
that's right up there with stupid.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
mine definitely isn't there. That was a joke.
hey, by the way, we didn't talk about the Beardilizer. Talk a little bit about that for a quick second.
Yeah, we really should have. That's because I need people to go to beardilizer.com if they have a beard. If they have a beard, I need them to, or a friend that has a beard, I need them to go and support the best beard brand in the world, and that's beardilizer.com. So, yeah, it's just we have beard products for oil and some creams, which we ran out of the creams for now, but we have oil, we have the beard comb, very popular. Beard combs very popular. We have beard kits that you can give as gifts and such. So we even have some we even have some product called Comfy Boys. That's for men and their more sweaty areas, I'll say. Yeah, yeah. So it's all amazing stuff. It works, and it's worth it. And I've been with the company for years. There was a spell there where I wasn't with them, and then I ended up God opened the door where me and my buddy Brad Beale could buy the company. And so now we own the company. And when we got it, it was kind of in a pit, and we're trying to dig it out of that pit. So please be a part of that. Be a part of that help. Go to beardilizer.com. Go to martyrayproject.com if you wanna hire me and my band to play a show, or you want us to if you need help in real estate of any kind, any way, then get with me on social media, Marty Ray Project.
Sounds good, Marty. I'll put some links below all this. Super glad we had a chance to chop this up, buddy.
Yes, sir. Jesus bless you, Chris.